Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner will face off against Republican incumbent Senator Susan Collins in November. Plattner declared victory around 9:30 last night at this primary watch party in Blue Hill. Plattner, who has faced multiple scandals during his campaign, says he will work to prove to voters he is a candidate worthy of their vote.
And to any of those who feel let down or disappointed or disillusioned, it is my job to earn your trust, faith, and support. And I will spend every day of this campaign, and if I have the privilege, every day in the United States Senate doing exactly that.
In response to Plattner's win, a spokesperson for Senator Susan Collins says, quote, Mainers aren't looking for bitter campaigns, grand promises, or angry speeches riddled with lies. They're looking for results. Going on to say Senator Collins will run on her own record of delivering results for Maine. Both of Maine's gubernatorial races will be going to ranked choice voting after none of the candidates reached the necessary 50% of votes. At the moment, Dr. Nirav Shah leading the Democratic candidates with 26% of the vote. There, it's followed by Hannah Pingree, Troy Jackson, Shanna Bellows, and Angus King III. While Bobby Charles currently leads Republican candidates with 37% of the vote, followed by Ben Midgley, Jonathan Bush, Garrett Mason, Owen McCarthy, David Jones, Robert Wessels, and James Libby. According to the Secretary of State's office, the final tabulation of ranked choice voting is expected to take several days, and that could change who is ultimately in the lead. Democratic leader for governor Dr. Nirav Shah speaking to supporters in Brunswick last night. He thanked them for their help during the campaign and for their votes yesterday. Shah struck an optimistic tone as he looked ahead to what he hopes to accomplish as Maine's next governor. He said he would stand up to the Trump administration and work to protect the rights, health, and safety of Mainers if elected. Shah also called for change within the Democratic Party.
As governor, we have to get back to being the party of taking big swings, even while we steady the ship. Democrats used to be the party of boldness. We were, after all, the party of FDR and the New Deal, Francis Perkins, a Mainer, and Social Security, LBJ and the Great Society. It is time to retain and regain the legacy that Democrats have lost in this country, and that is what I will do as governor.
In addition to focusing on key issues, Shah's high profile as Maine's former CDC director and his leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic helped make him a familiar name to voters and boost support for his campaign. Now, the leader of the GOP primary for Governor Bobby Charles gathered with his supporters last night at Dysart's in Bangor. He said he hopes his win in the GOP primary would turn a page for Maine. He wants people to be able to trust the government again, saying his past experience has prepared him to lead Maine.
Tonight is a wonderful moment. It is the Maine people speaking loudly, but this is just the beginning. The people of Maine started something tonight, and we are going to finish that something in November. We are going to win the governorship and win the legislature.
It is a tight race among Democrats looking to replace Jared Golden and represent Maine's 2nd congressional district in Congress. News Center Maine's Ryan Bell caught up with some of those candidates after the polls closed last night.
4 Democrats are vying to represent Maine's 2nd congressional district in the United States House of Representatives. We don't know who the winner will be yet, but we do know it's headed to a ranked choice runoff.
State Senator Joe Baldacci holding his watch party Tuesday night at Sea Dog Brewing in Bangor. He's running against State Auditor Matt Dunlap, former congressional staffer Jordan Wood, and social worker Paige Loud in the primary.
And while we're optimistic, we're obviously waiting until every vote is counted. It might take days, maybe even weeks. But I'm hopeful that once that's done, I'll be lucky enough to call myself your Democratic nominee.
Dunlap also observing results with friends and family at a restaurant in Old Town.
I have had plenty of moments where I wondered if I'm the right guy to be doing this, but I've also had plenty of people say that's exactly what we want to hear. We don't want somebody who's 100% certain all the time. We want somebody who questions the current situation and looks for different alternatives.
The winner of the Democratic primary will take on Paul LePage in the general election. He ran unopposed in the Republican primary.
When we all heard Paul LePage would be joining us from Florida, once again, alarm bells went off for most of us.
He has a very stark record, and I've heard many people out in the world, including Republicans, who kind of aren't too sure that that's such a great idea to have him representing us in Congress.
All of the candidates say they'll continue to watch the numbers flood in as the ranked choice process plays out over the next few days. In Bangor, Ryan Bell, News Center, Maine.
We have also just learned that Paige Loud has now conceded that race. Paula Page is unopposed as the Republican candidate for Maine's 2nd Congressional District. In Maine's 1st Congressional District, we've also learned today now that Republican Ron Russell has been declared the winner by the Associated Press. He had 53% of the vote and will go up against Democrat Shelley Pingree, who has held her seat for 9 terms. And as that ranked choice tabulation continues, News Center Maine will bring you those latest results just as soon as they are available. A lot of other votes happening yesterday. School budgets also on the ballot in a number of communities around the state. We'll break down a few of those. In South Portland, residents voted on the $76 million school budget. The results this morning show voters okayed that budget with more than 5,000 voting yes, just under 2,000 voting no. Earlier this year, the school board voted to close the James A. Kaler Elementary School and cut 80 staff positions. District leaders say it was necessary to keep the tax increase to residents at about 6%. That elementary school will not reopen in the fall. In Portland, voters approved a $180 million school budget. Just a few weeks ago, you might recall, the Portland Teachers Union urged voters to reject the budget, saying district leaders are prioritizing administrative spending over classroom support positions and that directly serve the students. Then about a week ago, the Portland Education Association changed course, urging voters to approve it. In a Facebook post, the association said the district committed to adding 5 EdTech positions in that budget. To Lewiston now, the school budget was also passed there by less than 200 votes. About 2,800 voted yes, 2,600 voted no. Yesterday was the second vote for the school budget. Last month, voters rejected it, many saying the original amount of $130 million was too high. District leaders were able to bring that down to $128 million, which was then approved by voters. 30 staff positions will be cut there. And Oxford Hills District also approving its budget last night. The $54 million budget includes $0 in new spending. More than 3,000 voted to approve it. More than 2,000 voted it down. According to district officials there, that budget cut about 5 teacher positions, an administrator position, and support staff.